Welcome to the RMD Podcast with me, your host, Dr. Debra Durst, and my co-host.
Hey guys, Faraday Golembieski, nurse practitioner here at RevitalyzeMD.
So today we are going to talk about aging, and are people looking at you, sizing you up, and wondering your age? Is that happening?
Of course.
And it is. So we brought this up, and there was a debate when we brought it up as a topic for the podcast. But again, I had just been observing, and I'm a people observer, love it, can spend all day long just, observing people. And then actually just in my mind, I'm telling a story. I have their whole story.
Their whole life is figured out.
Whole story
by the
laid
time
out.
they walk 10 steps in front of you.
Yes. I'm a people observer for sure. So I know I do that. And it's fact
That's why
that
people watching is a thing.
Yeah. Well, but are they aging you while they're doing it? Are they wondering your age, sizing you up for age?
I think we all do a little bit, right? How can you not? I think it's just kind of part of that perusal, right? When you look at somebody.
Yes.
It's age, it's attraction, but how do we come up with that?
Yes. Yeah. So I think it's facts. Yeah. So I think everyone is doing that. Maybe they do it less when they're younger, but probably not, because you might look at somebody, think they're attractive, and then you're like, are they older than like me? Are they older than, that's acceptable? Are they younger?
The same young?
Yes. Are they of age?
Are they of age?
All the questions. And so I think that happens. So what do they look at? So I think for basics, I think women look at men. And this goes back to like the evolution of time, right? Like of sex and of, just men and women and the relationships.
Protector. Right?
They're looking for a provider and a protector and somebody that is going to propagate genes on that are good.
Yeah.
And so basically you are looking for somebody that has good genes. They look the part, they're tall, they're strong, they're smart, they can provide, because that gets you good. And that's the evolution of sex. Like those are facts. Like that is what happened. And that's how women look at men from a basic standpoint is, can they provide? Are they strong? Are they consistent? Is it going to be like somebody that can provide and support me, and not support you financially, but just like they are the man.
But even for some women, it is that.
Yeah. Well, of course it is. And
that goes back to that protector.
Yeah.
It's how well are they put together?
That's a whole nother topic, because I completely agree with you that frequently it is women still looking for that, where most women, and we can talk about exceptions all day long, but we're talking about most of the time women are supportive behind the scenes. The man is the support. But going back to the evolution of sex, you're looking for somebody with good genes, that's smart, that can provide for the family. That goes back to the beginning of time. Yep. And so what do men look for in a woman, going back to the beginning of time and evolution?
Right. So now,
of sex.
Again, attraction, right? That's always first and foremost. Mm-hmm. But then you go into fertility, right? Hips, youthfulness, breasts. We're looking at hair, skin, all of that.
And I think from a basic standpoint, they're looking for somebody that can procreate their genes, like propagate their genes on, and fertility is a key. So we're looking for that support,
so young,
strength,
vibrant.
And then, they're looking for fertility.
Yeah.
Breasts, voluptuous breast, hips. That's like a sign of fertility from the evolution of sex. That is what we're talking about, where women are looking for men, again, is it good genes? Are they strong? Are they
going to protect us from the tiger that comes,
yes,
right?
Correct. And so that is all from an evolution of sex and procreation. But what happens when we age? Our hormones decline, we have changes in the body, inflammation increases, diseases happen, but there's a lot of changes that happen physically. So now when somebody's looking at you or you're looking at them, what are you assessing to come up with your age number? So what are you looking at? That is, so if we started from the top of your head down, Faraday,
like the avocado,
top of the head down. And so with that top of the head,
right? So hair,
yes.
Are we gray? Are we balding? Do we have a receding hairline? Do we have hair?
Yeah.
All indicate age to some extent.
Yeah. So that is definitely the start of it. Like they're
And then even
looking, and it's
eyebrows,
both
like
ways.
hair on your eyebrows.
Yeah.
As
Or
women
crazy
age,
hair on your eyebrows. Like you have eyebrows that are hanging, because that happens with older
yeah,
men.
it does.
You got to cut that stuff. Like those just need to be trimmed.
Side note,
Just like,
guys, if you have crazy
yeah.
eyebrows, trim them.
Yeah, like there is, like they have glasses and they have close-up mirrors, and so you can get that stuff on, look in the mirror, and you need
Sounds
to
like someone's
trim.
talking from personal experience.
Well, I see, like, so even when I worked in the ER forever, I would look at people's eyebrows because the older men had like eyebrow hairs that were hanging out.
We all have our thing.
And you need to, just like you manscape everywhere else, you need to manscape right there. So, highly recommended. But anyhow, so yes, I agree. So, next up would be eyes. So, when you're looking at the eyes, bags underneath the eyes, eyelid drooping.
Drooping. Yeah. A lot of women will get really, well, men too, that will get that upper eyelid will get really saggy. And that's where we see a lot of people that do bluffs, where they go for plastic surgery and have that eyelid lifted so that it is not drooping, because that is a sign of age.
And you can do a
skin
lot of
elasticity.
laser treatments. We do a lot of laser treatments in the office. And so we do aesthetics. Again, we're not just all about wellness and sexual wellness. They tie together. So if you're feeling good on the inside, you want to look good on the outside. And so when we're talking about these things, every single thing that we're talking about today, we will talk about like some changes that happen internally that cause it, but also some things you can do to improve it. So we're going to
like
get into
hair.
all that. Yeah. But we can do the hair thing.
We can take PRP or PRF, platelet-rich plasma or platelet-rich fibrin, and we can re-inject that collected blood back in to the hair to help it grow.
Stimulate the hair follicle to grow, get it into the active phase, out of the resting phase. And then you can also do some lasers with that potentially.
Absolutely.
And
There's
even
some supplements.
Supplements are great for that. And then also even exosomes. You can add on exosomes as part of that. And so so that is definitely something. When we're talking about eyes, you can do laser treatments, including we can do inside the eye with a laser treatment and hit the bags underneath the eyes, because we like very science related regenerative type aesthetic treatments. And then you can go around, because this is the thinnest skin in the body. And so that's why it's drooping. And when we get to skin, we'll talk about what happens in your skin and what we look for. But you can tighten that up with lasers too.
And with platelet-rich plasma.
So if you trim, we'll tighten. You trim, we'll tighten. How's that? So then basically skin is one of the things that you're looking at, and skin health. And that's huge.
And that's youthfulness, right?
Yeah.
So as we age, we lose that elasticity, we lose that collagen, and we get wrinkles, fine lines, wrinkles. We get drooping skin. We have bone loss as we age because of hormone loss, which also adds to that skin drooping.
Yeah.
Our bones help keep that structure of our face holds everything up.
Yeah. And so, well, that is two things right there, because you're looking at like bony structure, you get resorption with time. And with that, if you have resorption of fat pads or bony structure, then yes, you don't have that support. So everything is just collapsing down. But collagen and elastin loss in the skin is affecting the skin health and the skin thickness and plumpness. And that is a sign of youth. And like, what does your skin age look like? And so if you have unhealthy skin and lines all over, and it can affect, like hydration affects that. Your sleep affects that tremendously. And
Using sunscreen. Men and women use sunscreen.
use sunscreen. And I would just say that like we are exposed to a ton of toxins too in the air. And so the pollution and just the toxins that we're exposed to, just think about all the phones and the electromagnetic radiation that we're exposed to. So doing something that's going to stimulate collagen and elastin over time. So if you're looking in the mirror and you're seeing signs of skin aging and you're wondering why you have wrinkles, or you need to do something to stimulate collagen and elastin and do something regenerative, such as lasers even. And so, and good skincare, healthy medical grade skincare. So men
I was
need
just
to
talking
beautify
about this
too.
this weekend with
Yeah.
a male friend.
Yeah.
Same thing. A good face wash, something to help with like a retinol base for fine lines and wrinkles.
Yeah.
And then doing some form of laser treatment monthly.
You
Just
got to
for skin
regenerate.
regeneration.
You get about 1% collagen loss a year. And again, if you're age 50, then you're about 50% down. By the time you start, if you've never had anything that stimulates collagen, elastin, microneedling, RF microneedling lasers are huge. We love them. So anyhow.
Right? And that's
But
one
yeah.
of the first things we're looking at is the face, right? To look at
Yeah,
age.
which is another thing. So if we're
Right.
looking at even that, we talked about eyes, we talked about skin, but even nasolabial folds,
Jowling.
jawline is huge.
The
And
neck in
so
a woman can
we can't
always
do
give you your
this because
age.
yeah. Well, that's even this though is huge for men and for women with age because we get more down here and our
Hmm.
jawline isn't as well defined with age, and so that can be volume loss, like you said,
Yeah.
bony loss, fat loss, all that, and then neck and hands are a big issue for women because it ages us. And so
Hmm.
if you look at actually one of the earliest things, one of my first anti-aging conferences, which was like 2011 was my first. So I think it was a couple years after that I was at one of the conferences. It was when I bought the Photona laser
Hmm.
machine and or wanted to had first investigated, and it was because I was watching a news. It was Maria Shriver, and her skin on her face looked great, but you could see aging on her neck right away. And I was like, why do we only do our face? Why are we not doing more to our neck? And so a lot of times we just do beautifying on the face, and men need it too, but face, neck, and chest, because definitely the chest and the neck and the hands age women.
Yeah.
And
In our
so
office, if you only do a treatment on your face and Dr. Durst sees you, she will say, "And why did you not do your neck and chest?"
yes, and frequently those patients are young staff members, and they're like, "Well,
Because they're not thinking about their
we
neck
didn't
yet.
have time." And I'm like, "Trust me, you will
Make
regret this in
time.
the future,
She
and
says,
you
"And
need
make
to make
time."
time. Do it. It's neck and chest. Continue on in hands. I would because our hands are exposed to everything. We use less
Yeah.
sunscreen on them, and so they take the biggest hit. And so
Yeah.
definitely. So what else? Like I think some things that happen when we age that are interesting and things we can do about, but like posture
Yeah.
and lower testosterone. So when we talk about our hormones declining, inflammation in the body, disease is happening. If you look at the paraspinal muscles and there you have a lower testosterone, which goes down with age, you don't maintain your muscle like you used to. Those are part of it. And so just that posture, the
That
decrease in
over.
height, the confidence that comes with or doesn't come with, posture that's bad. So people do look at posture. Is it straight? Is it confident? And that can be a lack of
Well, I think that
testosterone over
has a lot to
time
do with
too.
this confidence.
Yeah.
Somebody with a higher confidence level, more higher self esteem, a more better self worth,
Yeah.
tend to hold themselves a little bit more upright.
Yes, correct. And I will say that with that, even as our hormones decline, there's a lot of psychological things that happen with that. And so lack of, confidence, self-esteem, zest for life, all of those things.
Hmm.
And then if that with decreased posture and testosterone, like you could actually get to the point where, you're not as tall as you once were, and there's paraspinal muscles aren't as strong, your back isn't as strong. There's lots of things. So muscle loss and body
Yeah.
composition change are another one of the things going down the list. And so it kind of goes along with that, but
That's
in
probably one
ways
of the
that we
biggest
think of
things that I
more.
hear from women. I hear it from men as well as they age, but more from women of, I don't know what's happened. I'm eating right. I'm working out, but body composition changes are happening
Yes, yeah.
with hormone
And
decline.
that's a big thing. Like I am doing all the same things and I'm gaining weight and nothing's changing. And that is a sign that your hormones are changing and it's time to get them checked. That's what that means. And then, but it's interesting because you see that happen with men, even if we don't hear it as often.
It is true. Men gain around their
You
waistline.
see it to be the case. So, but it goes back to frequently, I would say, you know, and again, warped views since I was probably in college, but like you're walking along the sidewalk and we've had this conversation before.
I'm
You
interested to
know,
see where this is
a
going.
woman says hello or excuse me, like to move beside you, and I've always joked since I was like 18 that like the man's thinking she asked me to move, excuse me, that his response and what goes through his mind is she wants me.
Yeah.
And then the woman's like, no, I
No, I just
just need
wanted
you to
to
move out
get
of the way.
by.
Yeah, I just need you to move out of the way. And so they could always be thinking every woman, doesn't matter what they look like, at least they could be in great shape and thin. They have to lose 5 pounds. Always. I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever met a woman that hasn't said they needed to lose at least 5 pounds. Like but a man could be metabolic syndrome, and in his 50s looking at the 20-year-old who has to lose 5 pounds but doesn't, and think that's the
She
guy
wants me.
looking at her. That's the guy saying she wants me. And so you don't hear it as often.
But is that because their testosterone is
and
higher
yeah.
and tends to decline later?
Correct. And so, yeah, well, I think it comes down to, you said, I don't hear it. We don't hear it as much. And it's true. In practice, we don't hear men say as often as women,
Yeah.
I'm doing all the same things and I'm gaining weight, but it's still facts that it's
still
happening.
facts.
So I'm just saying that that's the 50-year-old walking down the
It's the
street.
mindset. You
Yes,
guys
the
are just uber confident.
Yes, and they have more testosterone. Maybe it boils down to that. So we're solving the world's problems.
That's it.
as the
It all
podcast
comes
goes
down
on.
to testosterone.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. So that's what it does come down to for the
Yeah.
most part. Voice is another one. So again, just tone and strength, and then probably social cues, which is just what we talked about. The social cues, because I do find that there is definitely a difference. I can tell a difference right away in social cues from definitely an older man versus a younger man. There's definitely a lot of things that are different, and some you would not probably expect, but there's a difference there for sure. And it goes back to probably our other comment, like sometimes you
Yeah.
can just tell.
Yeah.
And so, but even the way somebody dresses and what they're wearing, you can tell whether they may be outdated or not outdated. And
Well,
so,
we were talking a little bit about that earlier, right? How well put together you are.
yeah,
Right? Someone that's a little bit older, but very well put together, that takes care of themselves, may look younger than someone who is actually younger, but does not care too much about that upkeep, right? You can have somebody in their 30s that lets their hair gray, that doesn't take care of themselves, versus somebody in their 40s who's dyeing their hair, doing their nails, keeping themselves well, doing all these things, right? Doing the face care, and they will look younger than that 30-year-old just because
yeah.
of upkeep and maintenance.
Mindset. Yeah.
So,
I agree. It
so
does
like
come down
clothing
to
and
that.
style,
You
right?
made
That's kind of on
you've
there.
definitely made that point. Well, at first I was wondering
Yeah.
with the mindset, but that is definitely, because I was thinking still more along the lines of confidence, but that is true. It's the mindset of like how somebody approaches care,
Yeah.
self-care. So the things that happen when we're age, when we're talking about that again, obviously, 40% of women as they get older start to get hair thinning, 50% of men. So there are, just your hair follicle goes through a resting stage and is more likely to be there. You have cellular senescence, which is cell death over time that accumulates in the body. So toxins, inflammation, those cellular
Oxidative
changes that
stress.
happen, oxidative stress, you don't detox like you used to. You have hormonal decline that happens. That again, a lot of the things we talked about, the hormonal decline is part of that, and that cell aging. And there's ways to, again, go about keeping that stuff from happening.
Well, even
And
things like NAD decline, which are huge for anti-aging,
yeah.
glutathione in the body, which is a powerful antioxidant, declines. So as we age, we lose all these other things going on in the background too that help, that are signs of youth, that keep us young, right? As we age and we lose those things, we do age.
Yeah, and mitochondrial dysfunction is there. It's a fact, and that NAD helps support that mitochondria, and that's the powerhouse of your cell. You have collagen elastin for the skin. You have collagen elastin in a lot of tissue. You have bony loss. The only thing that maintains your bony structure and health over time is hormones and vitamin D. And so again, as your hormones decline, when we look at hip fractures that happen as we get older and osteopenia, that's all something that can be addressed just from hormone optimization, optimizing vitamin D.
Another sign of youth too.
Yeah.
Are we on a cane, or are we able to
Yeah.
get around on our own?
Yeah, that is definitely. And I think that again, the way that life is changing, the mindset is changing, those kind of scenarios are going to be less and less common
Because
because
we can age well now.
yeah, and we can be more active, and fitness is better established, and again, I think that fitness is better established. The nutrition is, now we have all this longevity and regenerative stuff, but the one thing that is just now coming out is like again, men need to do that beautifying too. So when it comes to skin health and care of the hair and skin, that just think that over time, that is just something that hasn't happened as often that they think about doing lasers and aesthetic treatments. But I think that is now also more accepted for both men and women too.
That's why there's a whole thing on Botox.
Yes,
Right.
Botox and Scrotox.
And Scrotox.
But that's
So
also why,
neuromodulator for the face for men, Botox Dysport
yeah.
for to help get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles.
And I think that is, again, why we have the saying "no man left behind" is just because men don't frequently know where to go when it comes to the beautifying part. And then
Or they're
also,
hesitant and then they do it and then they get the compliments
yes, and they
and
love
people
it.
notice.
They love it. And so when they're walking by down the street, instead, the woman's like, "Hey, can you move out of my way?" But then maybe she means it. Maybe she means it. So anyhow, but those are like all the things. And so let us know if you think it's true that you're aging, or at least sizing people up for age, trying to guess an age when you're assessing people. Is that part of your people watching skill
And
and
what do you
assessment?
look at to assess age?
Yeah.
Let
Let
us
us
know.
know. So again, we're willing to deep dive into anything wellness, sexual wellness, off-topic, fun things such as this. So just let us know what you want to hear more of, and like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We can do more fun podcasts as kind of a thank you to hitting that subscribe and hitting certain numbers. We hit 50,000. If we can get to 100, then we'll do another just really fun. And let us know, because we're thinking about doing a round table discussion with women and sex and just all the different opinions at one table. So let us know if that something sounds interesting to you. So, all right. Thanks for listening.